Surprise! A location change. Something came up, but it's taken care of. The one point in the series when they sing the song in English, even during the unaltered Japanese version of the show, they keep that the same in the dub version. Interesting, right? And also a bit of wasted potential, if you ask me. It's obvious to me now that there are going to need to be timestamps in this video. Also, while reviewing the footage, I realized that I misjudged some previous triggers, such as shaking the DVD case, and I completely forgot about this, the back of the box. Anyway, back to the soundtrack. It's made by a very well-known composer, the same person who created the soundtrack for Ghost in the Shell. And there are very few songs in this show with strong melodies, like Reagan's theme, the theme that plays when Mob starts to use his psychic powers, the theme of a arc villain named Taruki. But it all works very well to build atmosphere, which is very important between the jokes. Because if you don't take this series at least slightly seriously, some of the jokes would fall flat. On a completely unrelated note, what do you think of my Lamalana fan art? My favorite video game. I won't go into detail, but I've also made crossover fan art between Lamalana and Mob-Psycho 100. I posted it on Imgur. If you want to take a look, you can find it on the Mob-Psycho 100 Reddit. I recommend you visit that place anyway. If you become a fan of this series, it's a very nice place. Pretty soon, I, Stubbly, and another person there by the name of Ixel, or Ixel, I'm not sure how they pronounce their name, perhaps even Eichel, are planning on setting up a contest to change the way that the website looks, which has remained unchanged ever since the anime came out. But back to what I was saying before, this soundtrack of Mob-Psycho 100, very atmospheric, not very melodic. On very rare occasions will you find yourself humming anything besides the more major themes, or maybe one particular background track that stuck out to you. And the tracks are rarely really reused to get them stuck in your head. It's not going to be anything like Naruto, where any of the background tracks really pop. And I mean early Naruto. I'm not going to talk about Shippuden. That just gets me depressed. I'm not seriously depressed. I know what that's like, and it's not what comes from the series being disrespected that I only somewhat cared about in the first place. Alright, so if all of that is out of the way, talking about the series itself, I guess at this point you can probably decide whether or not it's something you'd enjoy watching. So the next point, probably more interesting to somebody who's interested in the DVDs themselves, is probably where I should put the first timestamp. In fact, I'm going to make a pose so that I know exactly where to place it. Timestamp number 1, where we actually start talking about the Blu-ray. 4 discs. Like an Arataka's theme plays on Blu-rays. Now let's see here. I think this one's disc 1. I can't read too well from my camera. It has episodes 1 through 9 in the dub and subtitled versions. I suppose I'll talk about the dub after I finish going through the DVD features, just because I really ought to get this out of the way. And disc 2, I said before, this is a 12 episode series, has the episodes 10 through 12, like I said before, this one goes up to 9, as well as all of the extra features. The extra features, in order of wowness, are a series of short, very funny, pixel art based, surprisingly, pixel art based shorts that fit into the series between episodes. Similar to the One Punch Man OVAs, but like I said before, pixel art. More comedic in style, and they're very short form. There are usually 3 of them per OVA. OVA. I realized you can't hear me rubbing on that disc with my level of audio. It's too bad, though. It's a very nice sound. Anyway, I haven't been tapping on anything in a while, have I? I'll get to solve that problem. It also has a special flip book animation. It goes by very quickly. I'm not sure who was the person who made it. I'll be sure to put that in the description of the video as well, which animator made it, and maybe the director of the series put it together. It's nice that the director of the series, Mobsec 100, truly is a real fan. He talks about the manga in interviews, parts of the manga that are far beyond what the anime scope was. Anyway, then there is the full-fledged trailer, which they call the promo, which is very well done. The commercials, I believe, would be next. Oh no, the next thing that's most impressive, before even the promo, is that they have the ED present, but without any of the credits overlaid, and you have the option to turn subtitles off, so you can enjoy it that way as well. I told you before that the song of the ED I particularly enjoy, to the point where I did get the CD. There's everybody's favorite con man, Reagan Arataka, once again. And also, the ED is done entirely in paint on glass. And it's all about, well, visually it's about Reagan getting up to start the day. I should probably mention too that the song, the lyrics to me, they seem to be about questioning whether or not it's worth it to push through certain aspects of life, or to take things lying down. But, moving on, there is a series of commercials, short 30-second television commercials for the series, with unique dialogue from the Japanese voice actor for Reagan, Arataka. And lastly, there are the commercials, a series of commercials for completely unrelated series. The rest of the features, the actual episodes themselves on these DVDs, come in both English dub and the Japanese audio. And if you happen to be able to speak Japanese or memorized all the lines and know what they're saying, you can turn the subtitles off. But this is not the case with the special features. So all of the commercials are in dub, whether you like it or not. And the promo is going to be subtitled, whether you like it or not. Well, at least it'll be in Japanese. Whether you like it or not, the subtitles you can still turn off if you so choose. Anyway. Oh yeah, the dub. I should say that most parts of the dub are just as great as the anime voice acting, from what I can tell. Pretty much on par. Not to the point where I'd be forced to pick one or the other actor and say that they're completely superior in most cases. And they rarely change the lines from the manga in the dub to change the meaning. There's a plot difference in episode 1 because of one of those added scenes that changes Mob's character slightly and Reagan's character slightly, but you can pretend it never happens, and they gloss over that particular part of Mob's character change for a while, because Mob's character does eventually grow to the point where he would do what he does in episode 1, but not in this season. He goes far beyond that, in fact. The real standout players here, the main characters, which are on the back of the box. Reagan Arataka, Mob, Shigeo Kagayama is his real name. Mob is just a nickname, and a sad nickname at that, since I explained earlier, and Dimple, so named for those red dots there. Mob, I'd say he does just as great a job as his Japanese counterpart, as far as I can tell. I don't remember the name of the voice actor. I don't want to look it up. Reagan, perhaps he's done just as great a job. I know that, as I can't understand the language very well, the Japanese voice actor really captured the feel of the character with the tone of his voice. That's not to say that the English voice actor Christopher Niosi, also known as Kerbuffer, voice actor, animator, and now game designer, also didn't do that, but I prefer Noisy way over the other just because of how he was able to deal with some of the lines and over-top actions, converting them to English, how much fun he had with the series, and also the fact that just hearing somebody perform Reagan well in English makes me love Reagan that much more. On the other hand, Dimple, I think he was played by somebody named Michael Sorick. I'm going to double check that for sure, because I don't want to start saying what I'm about to say about somebody whose name I don't know, or I get wrong. In that case, I'll just say I believe it was Michael Sorick or Michael Sorich, but put that out there. I'm not sure exactly what the name was. Michael Sorick is a voice actor. I know that he's directed certain films, anime. I'm not sure what he's directed, but I know he was a director. And apparently he's a big name in the voice acting industry, but he just went way too hammy with the character of Dimple. You can tell here, Dimple is supposed to be a little bit of a cheesy guy, but he has to have his sinister side. He's a very multi-layered character. Yeah, that sounds silly when you're looking at this images and I say this is a multi-layered character. Remember what I was saying before about my favorite chapter. Anyway, so Michael Sorick does a great job with the introduction of Dimple. This isn't, you'll know it's Dimple because he's introduced as Dimple. Dimple. In Japanese he's called Ekubo. Anyway, he's supposed to be this super charming, aloof, over-the-top actor, leader of a congregation of cultists, and he's trying to convert Mob and several others into joining the cult. And he does a great job with that role. I think his voice fits well enough. I think he could use maybe a bit more variation in the tone of his voice. It's a little bit monotone, but I can live with that. But then, when he drops the facade, and it's revealed that he's actually an evil spirit, because he can't get Mob to join the cult, so he tries to kill him. When he turns into this big, monstrous, giant, evil green form with the cute dimples, then he keeps almost the same exact voice, the same exact cult leader persona that he had before, plus the monotone stands out even more now, because this is supposed to be a more exciting moment, and Mob nearly kills Dimple, reducing him from that giant green monster to this little speck here, where how he remains for the majority of the series. But after that, Mr. Sorick, what was it? What was it? Alright. Dimple turns into a manipulator character. He can't use power. He's trying to turn various characters against one another, trying to get into Mob's head, try to become what Reagan already is to Mob, somebody who's able to convince him to do anything. And this still, it doesn't work out. Too hammy, too cutesy. Almost every single line that he says comes out feeling wrong. I'm no voice actor, but I feel like even I could have done this better, and I'm going to. My favorite chapter, which I've mentioned several times now, I'm going to be animating that, and I'm also going to be voicing all of the characters. At least some of them, including Dimple. I think that I could mimic his voice, but I feel his voice is fairly easily. The Japanese person is fine. Some minor characters have some things that are somewhat off. Some minor characters say some things that really raise them above. Some nice improvisation with the Japanese lines. But overall, good dub. Good dub with the exception of Dimple. Very good dub. That's just the Blu-rays. You might be in for a surprise, though, if you only have a DVD player. Those who only can play DVDs, Disc 1 has episodes 1 through 8 this time instead of 9, episodes 9 through 12. This also has the special features this time, but for some reason, all of the special features that are available in the Blu-ray version, the best special features, the 6 special OVAs with pixel art, have been cut, and the only thing that they kept are the commercials for the other anime series. The worst of the worst, the bottom of the barrel stuff. What the heck? So if you do not have a Blu-ray player, then you're going to be seriously disappointed, especially if one of your main motivations for seeing the series were those 6 special OVAs. Let me put in my chart. Made a chart about. The menu loop is different. They use a rock song, which, oh dear, it's a character theme. I believe, I can't place it, but it's a guitar-based theme, almost rockabilly-esque, and the loop is much clearer, and they're able to get the melody in sooner. It feels much more natural. You can still tell when it's looping, but it's much better done than others. Than the Blu-ray menu. On the other hand, the menu screen is not animated. It is just a still image of the main series visual, which you've seen a lot of. This right here, minus the light effect with minus the light effect with the psychic power. When psychic powers are used in this series, they appear around the character as an aura which has a certain texture and color. This one is a character named Ritsu's, like I mentioned earlier, which is a really interesting choice. Mobs, if you can see as I can get closer, is a darker purple color, and it's made up of very closely related circles. Who knows? That's about everything with the DVD. I maybe should talk more in depth about those special episodes. You can see the trailers on YouTube, so yes, it's nice to have them all in one place so you don't need to build a playlist. Episode 1 is the only of the OVA, not the actual series, of the specials. I'll call them from now on to avoid confusion. Episode 01 of the specials is the only one that has manga content that was skipped by the anime. Anime skipped a lot of manga content, which I compiled, and I always recommend to people who want to get into the series and aren't too apt about the manga. But other than that, it's all original stuff, and it all feels very a one-esque. It fits into the world very nicely. Special episode 6 in particular has this really amazing story about a character that hardly ever appears, and I was getting so excited watching this special episode with little chibi, almost Earthbound, Undertale level of sprite work, and I was rafflecoptering like mad. Speaking of the language of the internet memers, is it that the normies are the ones that go "ree", or is the call of "ree" a response to the normies from the abnormies? Could someone who's still awake maybe type that and fill me in? I've asked that a few times to the various internet folks, internet travelers. They're not too clear on telling me. Now that's just the DVD. That's not all of the contents that come with the special edition. They are contained within this box here. Turning people into mazes is something that happens a few times in the series. I'm not sure exactly what it's supposed to represent, but this is one of the few times it's a still image and you can have fun. I can't read Japanese, but the arrow makes it clear enough. You're supposed to start down here at the collar of Mob's Shigeo's school uniform, Gakuran. It seems a bit weebish to say that. And exit out of over here at the top of his head. I think it would make more sense to come out over here where his hair dips. I don't know. I'm not an artist of that caliber. I will not argue with him. And it's called, the special stuff in this box, the Psychic Tool Kit. You'll notice that there's a pattern behind these silhouettes of Mob and Reagan here. I can't quite tell what it is. Stripes there. It looks somewhat biological, but I can't quite put it together. First thing that you're probably going to pull out of the box is a set of very special, shiny stickers. Hurrah! Stickers. I've already told you about these three fellows here. There's Besto Girl, or Besto Garen. I'll let you find out about them throughout the course of the series, of course. I have no idea where I'm going to put these people. Sad thing about stickers, you can use them only a limited amount of times. And also, something bad about the packaging here. It was put in, it's a bit too long on the top, and it's bending into this character here. Better if snipped a bit on this side, a bit on this side, a bit on this side, a bit of snipping, a bit of snipping on all sides, a bit of snipping. Oh, right, since we're moving into the material goods, I should probably give myself another stigma. Probably just holding this up should do a trick. That should be enough. Oh, moving on. Actually, Before I move on, I should probably get more depth. Dimple being full of himself. This Marge Simpson look-alike, striking an imposing gesture. Reagan, taking care of business. Bob, getting excited about something. Bestogarl, Bestogarl, somewhat vexed, but kept carrying on like she does. And this Josuke look-alike with really nice kicks. Oh, and the title of the series. Just like if you take a better look at each of them individually. There are also these special cards which all come together to make the image on the back of this case, this image here. It's slightly cut through the moon, but other than that it's the same. I think it's also starts further up here, so Dimple's at the very, very bottom. Let's see. And on the back of these cards, it's 2 wide and 3 tall, for a total of 6, which is also the number of individual DVDs. In the United States, you only have box sets with all 12 included, but in Japan you also have the option of buying the disc with 1 and 2, the disc with 3 and 4, etc., etc. And so, the box art for all of those is, thankfully, included. This is the box art for disc 1 of the 2 at a time version. And you might notice Bob and Reagan are shape number 1. This continues in order. All of the Garls, or at least some of the Garls, the ones that are more present throughout the series, including Bestogarl as well as the protagonist's love interest down at the bottom. Very happy that protagonist's love interest by the name of Tsubomi, we found this out very quickly in the first episode of the series, is not very well characterized in the manga until the very, very tail end. In the live-action series, she seems to be taking a much bigger role in a lot of ways. She also has one segment of these special episodes dedicated to her. Oh, you couldn't hear me scraping on the DVD, but it's basically a softer version of this sound. Nice, right? Anyway, journey 2, there's 3. Don't tell me I've lost one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is not good. It'll still be in the box. Or something to that effect. I guess I'll just wiggle this around a bit. Oh, I already lost one of these. That's really bad. Well, I'll just move on from 2 to 4 then. The person who's done the most coverage of the manga on YouTube. This is his Besto boy down here, named Gorda. There you are. 5, disc 5, and yes, you see these dimples here. Dimple has possessed yet another human. 5, 6. I think it's a bit of a cop-out that they used Mob and Reagan for the disc 1 cover and then used them again for the disc 6 cover. And I finally realized my mistake. This isn't a 2. It looks like a 2 in the camera, but in reverse, it's actually a 3. And the fact that these two young ladies come close together makes it more complicated. This is the 2 here. Makes me wonder what all these characters were doing, posing like this. Perhaps this is an amusement park day, or having fun out together. Who knows? Alright, here's what the top of the card is. You can see that it's cut off in a different place than this. And I'm going to get something from the bottom of the card. 6, 4, 5 would do. 5 you can't tell, but maybe 6 would be more noticeable. Yeah, it looks like in terms of putting things up entirely here, they're pretty much the same. Well, I'm going to get these all together so that I can accidentally wrinkle them. Oh, I should mention, you can hear the texture here of the puzzle side of the cards. Very nice texture. Not particularly rough, I would say, not sandpaper, but very papery feel, like cardboard. I'd say it's comparable to untreated cardboard, but the side with characters on them is very smooth. Almost like clean glass. You can hear how my fingernail slides around on this one. There's a lot less resistance. It's not all, though. I'm saving the most exciting one for last. Oh dear. Did I just say something that might keep somebody awake? This isn't the most exciting one. Another sticker. This one is visible from both sides. It's of Ekubo. Sorry for turning into John Tron for a minute there. Ekubo. Very good for tapping. It's plastic. Kind of rubbery window sticker that you can only get a one-time use out of, pretty much. So I'm going to have to think very carefully about where I put this along with the stickers. And finally, the pièce de résistance. Something that's almost as clever and special as the Reagan Salt sticker. A Mob Psycho 100 soup spoon. It says on it that it is 51 update stainless, so I'm assuming it's stainless steel. I don't have a very good way of telling otherwise. And it's actually a fairly average soup spoon, except for the fact that it does have Mob Psycho 100 written towards the top of the handle. The problem with this spoon is the fact that it is very, very thin. Very, very thin. You can almost barely see it. That might be because the trick that fake espers use to bend spoons has to do with just barely heating up the metal enough so that you can tip it over. But why would they want to encourage you to break the merchandise? To get you to buy more? I'm not falling for that trick. In fact, I even made a bendable spoon that bends back. I'll have to show it. It's clearly fake because I haven't got the tinfoil wrapping on it properly so you can see how the machinations work. But I can perfect it. Another problem here is, you can see it clearly by reflect the computer screen. There are markings in it. There are factory defects in the spoon, so it probably won't hold out long if you actually use it to eat. It's only good for showing, and it's a very impressive soup spoon in terms of looks, just because this is the only special thing about it. I know I might be coming off as pretentious saying all of this stuff about soup spoons, but I actually also happen to be a spoon collector, as well as a vase collector, as well as a lawn gnome collector, and a mushroom builder, and a hat builder. I've got very special hobbies. The hat thing sort of led into the gnome thing, and the gnome thing came with the mushroom thing, and the spoons came with the fact that I'm a tea aficionado, so it's all a bit related, but pretty tangential. I probably already have it covered in my finger juices. That's a bit too late. And the packaging here, this is different from the plastic that was covering the entire disc, is very different from what was covering the entire disc. It's much better for making crinkling noises. What got me started with how much I love ASMR, or enjoy it, I should say, it's not really love, is I used to have pet rats, my sweet little girls, and being nocturnal creatures, they would play and make noises, ruffling through things, climbing on the cage bars. Sometimes I'll let them loose in my room after I made sure it was completely rat-proofed, coming up to give me kisses in the middle of the night. Anyway. And that made me really miss sound. So, ASMR artists, as they like to call them, some like to call themselves, replaced rats making noises in the middle of the night for me. That is a complete overview of everything that is inside of the box. So, I won't close that yet. I should probably start the audio-free version, or at least a version that has nobody talking to you, which I will do in 3 seconds, or I should make a symbol to demonstrate that. How about this time? I should do the trick. Thank you all for watching. Please check out the Arataka 100 Reddit, where I'm going to make a post about my findings of this chart. There are all kinds of other things. Keeping up with the live action, Excel, doing some fun stuff with keeping up with the live action. There's a particular ink artist who makes very, very nice non-psycho fan art, among other things. You can find them there. I'll shut up. Special edition. Smash. Smash. Edition. Packaging. 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 Dimple. Arataka. Arataka. Bestogar. Arataka. Arataka. Sick. Packaging. Packaging. That's going to be everything. Or I've made a mess. Anyway, if you enjoy, hope you're sleeping well. And all hail Lord Sego Helmet.